Thank you for tuning in to the Services Reporter podcast, The Talk. We have with us today the founder of Sylvn Studio, Miss Bandana Jain. Hello, hi Miss Jain.
Hi, Sapna. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Great, great. All right, Miss Jain. So the first question would be, why do you do what you do?
I do what I do,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I'll continue to do because I it gives me happiness,
All right.
and happiness works, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my answer.
Okay, great, great. Well, you come from a conservative family. Was that a strength or a weakness?
Honestly, it makes me stronger, as I have seen restrictions and lack of opportunities.
Okay,
Um, it tends to understand the value when things are out of reach. I believe that too much availability can make you weak.
right.
So I feel that that was the strongest point because I always urge to do something. There's always an urge to do something in my life. So yeah,
Okay. And was that urge during your school days or a certain breakthrough or something happened that you decided, no, I
always,
have to?
always. I always felt that I have to do something in my life.
Okay.
So, but there was no opportunity for me because
Mm-hmm.
being a girl, I was not allowed to go outside for studies and all.
Right.
So I always felt that gap. And, there's always a curiosity or some, strong urge, or if I get an opportunity, if there's
Mm-hmm.
always an if, that if I get an opportunity, I'll definitely make it.
Right.
So, yeah, so that was there. So that was the strength. So when I got the opportunity, I was like, I'll I'll kill it now.
Right.
So yeah.
What's integral to your work of an artist?
There are few things which I feel that's essential for an artist. Like one is imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there should be some sort of clarity, like uh, in terms of like what you want to do and how you imagine things.
Right.
So imagination is very important because that takes you to a different level. Then experimentation, once you think about something, you imagined, but then you have to do that experiment in your through your art,
Right.
and that is very kind of, you have to take risk
Mm-hmm.
when you experiment, and you have to be like patient with this. So patience is another thing which is needed for an artist, because for us, like when we start working on something, it takes months or years.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started like 7 years back, so for like I would say 5 years, I only work towards um, to develop my art. And then I started thinking about, okay, अब इसको कैसे कहाँ लेके जाना है. So
Mm-hmm.
that patience and perseverance, that is very important for an artist.
Right.
So yeah, so these four things: imagination, experimentation, patience, perseverance. That
Great.
for me is like integral to the work.
Great.
Yeah.
Um, well, that's very well said. Perseverance
Thank
and
you.
patience,
Yeah.
these are the key words of any successful
Mhm.
person. Now,
Mhm.
your unique selling point has been corrugated cardboard. So, how did this happen? Did it choose you or you chose it? Why this product?
First of all, I don't see corrugated cardboard as a USP initially.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I make something and it turned out very interesting and there's some message and it looks different.
Right.
At times it's beautiful. At times it's interesting. At times it uh, may generate some sort of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the USP. And then secondly, when somebody comes closer and realize that okay, it's made of cardboard or
Cardboard.
paper,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes a wow factor. So
Right.
that is like on second stage it becomes a USP, not
Mm-hmm.
in the first stage.
Right.
And yeah, so this medium was not at all circumstantial for
Mm-hmm.
me. I chose it, and it
Okay.
was an informed
Decision.
decision which I have
Right.
taken
Mm-hmm.
after working with so many other mediums.
Okay.
So my idea was to, since it is sustainable medium, I want to take it to a different level because nobody has, worked on it, and I want to give something different to the world.
Agreed.
That was my idea. So
That's
I chose it.
Oh, that's
Simply. Yeah.
that's wonderful. Now, here there is a very hidden message, something that you said that it is just a cardboard, and when that person comes and sees, and the next stage is that wow factor when that person sees the transformation of that cardboard into that wow product. So,
Hmm.
as you said, this was intentional. Was there some kind of a hidden meaning to it, or some kind of a message that you wanted to impart?
Yes, of course. I mean, like one thing which uh, I want the world to receive
Mm-hmm.
from my art is to be experimental. Don't be, don't restrict yourself, because until unless you do certain experiment, or you think differently, or you perceive things
Right.
easily, then you can, it develops your thought process
Yes.
basically.
Great. Great.
Yeah, and that is very important.
Absolutely. It's then that we know what's the potential of something which we never thought could bring to that level.
Exactly, it inspires you.
Great. You
Yeah.
know, okay. So I guess what you said was earlier that when you found that opportunity, you grabbed it and you said, let's just do it. So was marriage a way out for you? In one of your interviews, I was just going through and I read that you considered yourself lucky for having an encouraging husband. So what was the role of marriage in your life?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I'm super lucky to have such wonderful husband. Touch
Right.
wood. So I believe that he's a man behind a successful woman.
Mm-hmm.
So um, it's all about, like, whenever you take an initiative, you need some sort of support. It's not like one has to come and work with you or something like that, but somebody is looking at you from a distance
Right.
and applaud you for your work, or give some sort of, an expression is good enough
Right.
if it is encouraging. So yeah, he was always like, when I started, he had no idea. He has no idea about art or creativity.
Hmm.
When I started, he was like, okay, you're going to work with cardboard.
Right.
And initially he was like, okay, I'll consider it as your entertainment expenses.
Great. I guess you
So
just touched. Sorry to interrupt you. Please proceed.
yes. So yeah, I mean, he was really, he always felt so proud and happy to see my work
Hmm.
and the way I have grown over time. So yeah, that is something like, and when I work, he's like, you do whatever you want to do, and you don't have to worry about anything. And this is something you need at times, because there are a lot of
Absolutely.
stress and a lot of,
Right.
responsibility you have being in a startup. I
Hmm.
have to, work on all aspects, like a
Right.
small shitty thing and the biggest thing
Biggest
in
thing.
the organization. So I have to do everything, and then there are other things which comes out of marriage,
Hmm.
right? So, until unless you have somebody like your partner who's like very encouraging and helpful in that part, it is I feel it's difficult. So yeah, marriage is certainly a good thing, a blessing for me, and I really believe in this institution.
Well, very well said. That pat on the back and that push is always needed, no matter where
Yeah,
one stands. So,
yeah.
was that the reason, Ms. Jan, that you have also encouraged women, more women in your organization? Is this a way of you to empower, I mean, the existence of women in the workforce?
And like, I feel that we as women certainly need some extra. So I'm helping to set an equilibrium, and that's about it.
Great, great. Okay, so
Yeah.
just going back down the your memory lane, what was the strongest memory of your childhood?
Okay. So I remember I initiated a drive to generate funds for tsunami relief in my village.
Oh, that's wonderful. And
That was something that out of, I don't know,
mhm,
where it came to my mind, and nobody has done it before.
Right.
like as a child. So I felt that I should do something for them, and I felt a sense of belonging when I did that, and it was a really proud moment for me. And then
Great.
I felt that, when I get an opportunity, I'd like to do something for my country, and it is still exists, and hopefully I'll do something
I'm sure
before
you
I
will.
die.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
With these intentions and such, goodwill of yours, you will be doing that very soon.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And
Yeah.
just an extended question from what you just said. I have a very strong feeling that somewhere down the line you have your thoughts on being a social entrepreneur or some inclination towards it. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, whatever I'm doing, when I started Sylvn Studio, my idea was one to promote sustainability,
Right.
because that is something where, you know, unfortunately, we don't think much about it.
Mm-hmm.
So the kind of awareness I can create through my work,
Right.
that, you can also adopt a sustainable lifestyle. So that sort of education I like to give through my work.
Great.
And another thing is to generate employment.
Okay.
So these are the things which, and I feel like to create an enterprise is itself a charity, because then you generate employment, unlike our government are doing these days, that fund Bato and,
Right.
that nationalist attitude. I believe that we should be capitalist,
Mm-hmm.
and we should work on that side where we can make people able rather than give them. ले लो,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Right.
So
वो
I'm, yeah.
वो लॉन्ग टर्म में एक थ्रू आउट लाइफ जनरेटिंग रेवेन्यू होगा उनका सो दैट वुड बी completely
Yes,
helpful not just for their
yes.
generation, also for their children, and seeing their parents examples. So
Working, yes. Yeah, yes.
great.
Truly. I mean, that is very important, and we should understand that, the to get it from other sources, not the way to
Mm-hmm.
get it from yourself, to generate it yourself,
Right.
is something we have to do, and it gives you a lot of pleasure and satisfaction also.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So being enterprising is, like, I feel that it's something where I can contribute to the country.
Great.
Yeah.
Right, Ms. Jain. So coming back to your work again, with these themes, if you could tell us what themes do you pursue, and if there is any particular theme right now.
Generally, whatever work I do, I get inspired from things which I experience or which
Mm.
I see around me.
Right.
It can be like food, or folds, or clothes,
Mm-hmm.
fabric, whatever. So I like to take things from nature, from around me, and then work on them.
Okay.
So generally, I like to work uh, little abstract, you know.
Okay. Yes, I
So
could see that.
fluid, yeah. So that is what I like to do. Yeah. So that's my theme mostly.
Great.
Abstraction. Yeah.
What's your favorite artwork as of now?
I would say Perfectly Imperfect. Um, that was a turning point. I created that in 2018 Feb,
Mm. Okay.
and I got a lot of appreciation for that particular piece. And it was a piece where I showed the folds of fabric, the gathered bedsheet sort of thing, which is like very organic, and there's some illusion that there's some softness of fabric which I created in a hard surface. So
Okay.
when you see it from a distance, you would feel like it's a curtain.
Hmm.
When you come closer, you feel like, okay, this is not a curtain; it's a very hard surface. So
Right.
that's something which is quite exciting about it. So I love that piece of art, and I guess not guess, like, I want to work on that uh, in future also, like on that theme,
Great.
on Perfectly Imperfect. Yeah.
Great.
Mm.
I feel that there is some sort of a titillation factor in all of your work that when we perceive and when we come closer, or when we feel that or see that closely, or observe that closely, it's not that. So
Yes.
what is the deeper message that you want to convey with this? I'm sure because artists they speak with the abstract mind, as you just said. So what is exactly that you want to convey?
I mean, I like to keep things open for others to, to
Interpret.
interpret
Right.
rather than I convey all the time.
Hmm.
There is a message from my side also,
Right.
but mostly I like to keep it open for the viewers.
Great.
So when I make something, people think, okay,
Hmm.
this is that, and I realize, okay, that is another angle.
Right.
So it's like that. So yeah,
Great. Has there been
yeah.
any embarrassing moments?
Once it happened that I missed my timeline to finish
Right.
my work, and I truly believe in commitment.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that was one of the most embarrassing moments for me when I couldn't make it. Like despite doing a lot of hard work, and
Mm.
uh, it was really discouraging for me also. So yeah, but that was kind of a learning for me as well. That so initially I felt that okay, if I have to make a bigger piece or
Right.
something like that, uh, the timeline will. I mean, it'll. I can do it faster, but it's not like that. In my medium, it takes hell amount of time,
Yes,
and
I
whatever
agree.
I do, it takes its own time. I can't do anything like you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that I can't do anything. Especially mass production is not the thing which I can do with this.
Okay.
So yeah, so I learned a lot from that mistake,
Great.
and yeah, I'm good to go.
Great. Like you said, art cannot be time bound. And what was
Yes,
the reason for you to choose art? Why art?
art gives you that freedom to express. There's a freedom of expression.
Okay.
It never restricts your thought.
Great.
So yeah, through art I can express more, and my clients say
Mm-hmm.
that somewhere I have that rigidity in me, so
Right.
that which is then an artist. So I like okay, that's cool. I mean, for them it's like a positivity sort. Like you have certain thing which is in your mind and you strongly believe in it. So
Right. Was
so
that one of the memorable responses? Are there any such more memorable responses which is very close to your heart?
yes, I remember for the first time I had exhibited at Bombay Exhibition Center.
All right.
That was the first exhibition when I had no idea how to talk to people, visitors who come and all.
Right.
So I was quite raw, and we just did it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Me and I got an intern, so he was there with me, and we were like, "Chalo karte hain,"
Right.
and we did it. And the visitors as well, the exhibitors logged outside my booth, and everybody's like, "My goodness, what is it?"
Mm-hmm.
They never seen it before. It was like, something wow.
Yes.
And I can't tell you how many people came and gave me the blessings in terms of God bless you. So many people came and like God bless you, and that was the most memorable responses for me. One of the most memorable. Yeah,
Great. I
yeah,
guess you did surprise yourself also that day. Wow,
yeah.
that's wonderful. So, what food, drink, song, or could it be any form of entertainment or anything abstract that inspires you? You can just
Like
name one.
I mean, it's depending upon the time and mood. I can get inspired from everything.
Okay.
So I can't tell you one thing because I love to sing, I love to dance, I love to eat and drink everything. So
Right.
yeah, so it depends when, why, what.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right. Now, the artistic life, we have always seen artists all over the globe. There have been certain stages in their life, like all of us. However, in the lives of artists, we have seen there has been various stages, good times, bad times, so on and so forth. So I'm talking from a universal point of view. Is the artistic life a lonely one?
So I believe that it depends upon the characteristics. I mean, as far as you talk about me, I must say I'm lost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lost personality. Like if I meet you and you again, I find you somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
there are chances that I'll not recognize you by your face.
Right.
Or if you're walking towards me, like you cross a path,
Mm-hmm.
I I I I won't see you. That is also possible. So I'm that kind of lost personality. But I have, I'm not lonely. I don't find myself lonely. I believe in positivity, and that reflects from my art also. So
Right.
I think it's person to person how. So I feel that being human,
Mm-hmm.
we are like social animal,
Yes.
right? So if you keep yourself secluded from the world, from
Mm-hmm.
other human beings, then probably you feel, then you will definitely feel lonely and depressed.
Right.
And that happens when the artist work.
Mm-hmm.
At times it happens that you completely get into that, घुस जाते हो और फिर
Right.
दुनिया का कुछ
भूल
रहता ही
जाते
नहीं
हैं.
है. So
Right.
भूल जाते हो. So then you don't realize that when that depressing moment come into your
Mm-hmm.
life and it keep on coming and grabbing you. So that's why I believe artists are like that.
Right.
So we all should avoid that. We should party, we should go out, we should meet people because we are social animals.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very true. Should art
Okay.
be funded?
Suddenly with funds, growth becomes much faster.
Mm-hmm.
If an artist get, like, say for example, residency
Right.
or funds or certain platform to showcase the work, it helps a lot
Right.
to grow.
Mm-hmm.
It is much needed because being being alone, it is difficult at times to fund your things,
Right.
and yeah, this certainly needed.
Right. So, is there anything that makes Miss Bandana Jain angry?
Yes, so it happens, like, whatever. So
I
I
mean,
I feel very
hmm,
strongly that when our own people does not give respect
right.
to us,
Mm-hmm.
then it is quite disappointing, and at times it makes me angry. Like, you go out and see the whole world, and or artists in European country, you go and check it out their work. Like, you make sure that you have to be in certain exhibitions
Right.
across the world. But when you have your own people here, you don't
Mm-hmm.
have time. You get time bound to see your people's work. Like, as Indian, with all the designers and artists, we feel
Mm-hmm.
little discouraged or
Right.
at times angry because of that attitude. So I genuinely expect the whole fraternity, like architects and all other people, that
Mm-hmm.
they should actually, if I'm doing something interesting, you should definitely, I seek their support and their, encouragement in terms
Right.
of, like, they should be genuine about it, and
Mm-hmm.
they should be there for us, like all the designers, and that is what I feel. At times I feel like angry on that side, like.
Right. Ms. Jain, somewhere down the line, do you feel that the art and design fraternity, the Indian standards, uh, not standard as such, but then the entire fraternity is a little behind in the global setup? So are we working towards it, or are we just in our
भैया
toddler
सपोर्ट
stages?
करोगे तब तो आगे बढ़ेंगे ना. When people want, when there are certain designers or artists, they want to
Right.
work, they need support.
Right.
And we, and at times it happens that we can't wait for a longer, like 7 years, 8 years to, it's difficult to survive. So
Right.
there are so many artists and designers and those innovative people, they
Mm-hmm.
actually, died with time कि कुछ हो नहीं रहा है. So we need
Mm-hmm.
support basically so that we can take it forward. There should be, there should be that feeling inside us that, being an Indian, we should support our
Right.
country and our people.
Right.
Then only we can make it to take it to that standard. So
Mm-hmm.
one thing is that, and second thing is there should be some sort of taste.
Right.
You are ready to take risk. If I'm saying that this is something I can do for you,
Hmm.
you should believe in me.
Right.
It can be right, it can be wrong, I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
if you come and you say that I have seen something in USA or I have seen something in that country and I want to you to replicate that,
Right.
how can we grow?
Right. Absolutely. I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yes.
Yeah.
The level playing ground at the same time that being a support system, one second, having trust, number three, experimenting and having a niche in that sector by ourselves, not
Yes.
being a replica of Europe or
Yes.
any other country.
Yes. Yes.
Great. um, so what kind of research do you do, this being a sector where you being the, it's like a one man army when you start off, unlike other sectors where very quickly you have the angels coming in, private
Yeah.
equity, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So do you think somewhere down the line, say 5, 10 years down the line, such kind of model would also be accepted or happening in your sector?
Definitely yes.
Okay.
So
And do you think this
yes.
is also the answer for artists to be comfortable and thereafter focus in their art and rather not think as to my work being encouraged or being exhibited in bigger forums, because then the artist can focus on the art?
See, it's about your vision.
Hmm.
So, like there are two ways to look at it. Like you work for yourself or you
Right.
work for others.
Okay.
So for me, it's not just about me. I I I have worked in a medium.
Hmm.
I actually uplift a medium, right? So
Right.
corrugated cardboard, which I invented, and I not like I'm not the only one, though there are other people in the world who are doing something or the other,
Right.
little bit. But there are very few people in this world who has done something in this medium, and I am one of them.
Okay.
Now, for me, I worked and I got that expertise in this
Hmm.
medium. Now, being an artist, I do one thing that is my thing. And being an entrepreneur, I can think about other things also where I can create employment, I can generate employment, and
Right.
I can create a whole industry,
Right.
right? So if an artist work on metal,
Hmm.
so there's one side of it that you make something with your thoughts, your ideas, and there's another thing, an industry where again that same metal can be used
Hmm.
and it's for handicraft
Right.
basically. So being a nation which is full of manpower, why not?
Absolutely, yes. So the entire
Yeah.
ecosystem can be built around it, and
Yes.
thereafter, right, all
Yeah. That is
generations.
my 5-year plan. Yes.
Wow, great. Yes, so the next question was, anyways, what is your goal? So I guess we just spoke on that,
Yes.
right? Um, the
So
first
basically, I want to adopt a few villages, basically,
okay,
and create that industry there. So this is my vision in future. I want to do that.
right,
So
right. More on the social enterprise
yes,
format. How
yes,
how wonderful is that? All right.
yes,
So
yes, certainly. If
right.
it happens, it will be amazing.
It will. I'm sure it will, because your thought process is very clear and you know what you want, and you have
Yes,
already initiated that. So it would be a second
yes.
phase for you. Wonderful.
Hmm.
All right. So, Ms. Jan, your first exhibition was in your home. What was the response?
It was wonderful. I mean, people came and they liked and they bought, and
Okay.
I can see like I did it like in 2013, I believe.
Right.
And my neighbor, they're still using my lamps in
Oh,
their house.
right.
So I can see that it's how durable it is, and they are happily using it after 7 years or so. So that is something. Yeah. So that experience actually helped me to take it forward. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the initial kind of feedback session for me. So
Right.
it was wonderful. Yeah.
Great. You started off during the time when e-retail, e-commerce, all of the entire .com, .in craze was just, happening. So what has been its
Yeah.
role to your art form?
So when I started, it was not like art. I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking about more towards design. So I designed a few lamps and a few furniture,
Okay.
and I did exhibitions, and then these online portals,
Right.
they approached me, and I started selling through them, and that was the immediate revenue generation thing for me,
Okay.
and it helped me in the long run. Like I did what mistakes and innovation I can do at that time.
Right.
And now after doing that, when I move to art, um, I'm like more sharp and more matured
Right.
with this medium. So I felt that it went well, really well.
Okay.
So yeah. Hmm.
Great. Now let's talk about some of your creations. So what was the inspiration behind the first being Ek Onkar? This was
Okay.
right, the lambs.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, Akonka. Yeah, my trip to Golden Temple.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And Gandhi sculpture?
A tribute to his effort to uplift the society.
All right. Lakshmi
Hmm.
feet?
So I use different sizes of tubes. It signifies people or a team in an organization who work collectively and
Right.
generate growth and revenue. So for Lakshmi feet, I would say teamwork.
Oh, wow. Right. Hashtag Me Too campaign.
Me Too is basically my reflex action towards the ongoing campaign seeking to invoke sensibility in the mind of sexual predator.
Oh, wow. Great. So, with your all of these abstract work, I'm sure there is a very strong woman who is, just there to, I'm sure, to create a lot of employment in the near future.
Yes. Hmm.
Great.
I
Now,
hope
Miss,
so. Yeah.
yes, absolutely, you would be able to do so. Right. So, Miss
Yeah.
Jen, now we'll be having a rapid fire,
Okay.
and for this, you would get just two or three words, not more than that.
Okay. Not more than that.
Yes,
Okay, I'll try.
great.
Yeah.
Right. So the first one is Durga Puja.
Lighting,
Okay. Thakurganj,
memories,
Salon de Mobile.
comfortable shoes,
Okay. Italy,
creative hub,
Roman God,
Sylvanus, Sylvn
fam.
Studio came from that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The god of
Family,
the jungle. Togetherness.
The Tale of the Trash.
An appeal or message through art installation.
Great. India.
Mine.
Wow. Dream project.
To establish a huge handicraft industry.
Okay, great. And last, Bandana Jain.
A dreamer.
Great, great. Well, it was wonderful talking with you, Ms. Jain.
Same here, Sapna.
Great.
Thanks for inviting me for this lovely discussion.
The pleasure was entirely mine.